I'd like to call a meeting to order of the Jasper Planning Commission. And adopt the agenda as if the agenda being reviewed and approved.
If I
Need a motion?
could, let me change one thing, or suggest one change. Under new business approval for planned urban development, urban ought to be unit development, if that could be changed.
Planned unit?
Unit development. Lisa did the agenda exactly the way I told her to, and she's now, she'll learn better now.
I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Okay, second.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I think so.
Okay. Just need to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. All right, if we will approve the minutes of the last meeting, the May 15th meeting, and ask that our city clerk, will you please read those minutes?
Public hearing Tuesday, May 15, 2018, of the Planning Commission. Robert Walker, acting as Commission Chairman, called the meeting to order promptly at 6 p.m. Chairman Walker asked that the agenda be reviewed and approved by the Commission. Martha Poole made a motion to approve the agenda as presented, and Luke Copeland seconded the motion. Motion carried by 2, with Chairman Walker's vote not necessary. City Clerk Lisa Hoyle read the minutes of the April 17, 2018 public hearing. Martha Poole made a motion to adopt the minutes, and Luke Copeland seconded the motion. Motion carried 2-0, with Chairman Walker's vote not necessary. Chairman Walker recognized Sonny Underwood, Director of Planning and Zoning. Mr. Underwood presented to the Commission a request from Alan Dover, applicant, to request an annexation of parcel 029A064004 of 111.8 acres owned by the Ridge at Sharp Top LLC owner, located at 364 Sharp Top Ridge Road, Jasper, Georgia, as R1 single-family residential zoning. Mr. Underwood stated that the annexation and zoning request was advertised in the local paper, the county had been notified, a sign was placed on the parcel, and all neighbors within 200 feet or directly across the road of this parcel were sent a notice informing them of the request and of the May 15, 2018 Planning Commission public hearing. At this time, Chairman Walker opened up the meeting for public comment. Several residents of Sharp Top Ridge Road spoke to the Commission in opposition due to traffic and safety concerns. Alan Dover stated that the map as presented was a preliminary planning and could change. More discussion followed. Chairman Walker entertained a motion that the members recommend or not recommend the requested annexation and zoning. Marcia Poole made a motion to recommend to City Council that parcel 029A064004 of 111.8 acres be annexed into the city as R1 zoning. Luke Copeland seconded the motion. Motion carried 2-0, with Chairman Walker's vote not necessary. Martha Poole made a motion to adjourn, and Luke Copeland seconded. Chairman Walker adjourned the meeting.
Okay. Need a motion to approve those minutes as read.
Make a motion to approve.
Martha, okay. Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any old business? Being none. New business? We'll ask Sonny Underwood to please read us those.
We're here tonight to consider a zoning board of appeals application for Onyx Investment Services LLC and Gateway to the Mountains LLC, represented by Mr. J.R. McLaughlin of Onyx. They want to see about changing a zoning on a piece of property to a PUD development. And rather than you have to listen to me mumble through, I'll let you go ahead and present your.
JR, will introduce yourself and
Yeah.
put that out.
Well, Larry, J.R. McLaughlin, how everybody knows me. The parcel we're talking about is going south on 515, before you get to 108. On the right, where we did all the grading just before that, that's actually, if I step up here, I'll show you guys. This is just something we did for talking purposes. It's this property here. Where we did all the grading is this piece right here, that's called phase 1. That's not being considered tonight. It's the balance of the property. It's this piece here, which is phase 2, and this piece here, which is phase 3. The white area on here is an easement from to Limestone Valley for a dam. It's one of those flood control dams from the 50s, and they have an easement on the property to build a dam and retain water and stuff. So right there, that driveway right there, that's where the police always sit and give you tickets, and we don't get any commission on that, not yet. So what we have right now is that phase 2, the balance of this property, which is about 80 acres, is zoned. It actually has 2 zonings. It's C2 in the city of Jasper and R3. R3 is multifamily. And the little cliff notes I gave you to start with talk about, because we've looked at everything. I've had people from Florida come up. I've had 5 different groups look at trying to do the tax credit apartments on this property, but it's too far away from everything, it doesn't qualify. But they wanted to put in, at the time we had 100, they wanted to put in 1,000 apartments, which I would not have liked, but they came up to look. And it didn't work, so that's a good thing. We do not want to do anything like that. The zoning, as it is, does allow for about 12 units per acre, which ends up being pretty dense. You're looking at probably a 3-story product, maybe even 4 stories in some cases. So what we're wanting to do is to put in an active adult community with single-family homes, and our research is telling us that people prefer detached rather than attached, primarily. They can live with attached when you get closer to town, but when you get up here, people feel like they want a strip of grass in between for whatever reason. Not that they're going to cut it, because there's an HOA that takes care of all the maintenance on the outside. These people don't do anything. They don't cut the grass, they don't paint their houses, they don't do anything. This is a 100% completely maintained. It's an active adult community for people to go and retire and enjoy. There's a 4,000 square foot clubhouse, 1,000 square feet of porches on that for activities and stuff, out of the shade or in the shade. There's a big, what do you call it, a zero entry swimming pool, so that even when the grandkids come over, there's a place for the kids to play. There will be 2 tennis courts, 2 pickleball courts, and then walking trails throughout the development and down around even the lake and all around in the park area. So the product that seems to be getting the best attention is these examples here on these boards. And believe it or not, those are just 3 elevations. It's just 3 floor plans with different elevations of the same three plans. They don't look the same, but these are actual photographs from what's being built in Peachtree City and being very, very well received. There's 700 units to be built down there. They have already built 160, and they're 15 months behind on construction right now. That's how fast they're being absorbed. If you walked in today with cash and paid for your house, you won't get to move into it for 15 months. They're so far backed up. They have 8 different floor plans. We have narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 that we're going to offer. Most of them under 2,000 square feet. Go a little bit over that if you finish a loft, and certainly we go over it because we have some basement lots, and that would add quite a bit of square footage for people that want that. It's from an economic standpoint, what we're asking for is the opposite of what a planning commission would usually be getting hit with. Usually you're getting hit with, we want more density, we want this, and we're actually looking to take this the other way. And what started this was the R3 zoning category, while allowing for 12 units per acre, if you do a single family detached, when they wrote the code, they said it had to have 13,000 square feet for a detached single family home. Well, that destroyed, you can't do the mix, it doesn't work. And so now the PUD category would give us that, because we don't ever want any more than 8 per unit. Per acre, that's more than, probably even more than what we're getting. Right now, we're talking about putting 103 units on about 23 acres, 18 buildable. So it's only about 4 per acre, just to give you an idea. So it's really the opposite of what you'd normally be considering: less demand on the services, less demand, and certainly not a rental project, not with, not more demand on police and all that kind of thing. And it's the kind of thing that the plan is that we would be hopefully beginning our land disturbance permit pretty soon, that the builders would have at least 10 models open for sale March of next year. And they should sell at a rate of about 3 a month, according to the studies, but I think it might be a little bit better than that. So it's about a 3-year plan to complete the whole thing. The amenities and those kind of things will all be built first, along with the streets and the base coat and curb and gutter and all that, so that, it'll be, so as people move in, there'll be things for them to do, and it'll be self-contained. No demand for the city whatsoever in regard to parks or anything like that. So we'll have all our own stuff there. So it's a little bit different than what you're normally used to considering, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Is there sewage on this property?
Yes, there is. Sewer and public water. Yes, are both, actually, they're to the edge of this phase. They're not, it's where
Not on the property.
yeah, it's on our property, yes. They're both already on our property, yes. Yeah.
Any questions? Does anybody else in the audience have any questions or statements?
I actually live across the road, the White House beside Shiloh Church.
Which way? To the north or to the south?
We're south.
Okay.
We're considered south.
Okay.
But we're directly across the road. My question is, as far as the traffic going in and out, because now just us trying to get into our road there at Dingall's Drive, it's awful. We'll just about get plowed over, just trying to get into the diesel lane to get over. So what is your plan as far as having those residents go to their homes and leave their homes? Will there be a red light there, or are they just going to have to get in the diesel lane to then pull over to go into their home?
Ultimately, there will be a stoplight, I'm sure. Not at this stage, but ultimately, yes. If this thing takes off and we continue to build through the project, then yeah, there's going to be, when the regional impact study comes back, then it would dictate that we would have to put a stoplight, and we're prepared to do that. It won't be right now, but it would be, because right now we're only talking about 103 to 110, depends on the mix, units.
So the entrance to the property will be there where the police currently sit?
Yes,
That's how
I won't make
they'll
a move. Yeah, that'll be the main issue. So what you do is if you were coming down 515, you pull in there and you'll go to the right, which would be to the north, and you'll just come up around. So when you pull in there, the development's like 2 o'clock. You can't really see it because of the trees and that have grown up and stuff. But yeah, that's where this will be.
Are you looking at what, 55 and older
Yes.
community?
Yes. And there's, we're copying it after a couple of very successful in Crestwind. There's one in Gainesville that's huge. And then this one in Peachtree City, I said it had just 700 homes. There is an allowance in there for like a small percentage of people under 55, but not in general, it's 55 and over. And then you make allowances for kids to bring, for your children to bring their grandkids to come stay for a weekend. There's prohibition, you're not allowed to like rent the house out on VRBO and things like that. It's really for active adult. Actually, I already have an informal waiting list of about 15 people that want to move out of Bent Tree and Big Canoe that are tired of driving from all the way over there. That basically are just waiting. They've been waiting for me to come up with where the lots are going to be so they can decide.
Do you have a civil plan on it now that has the layout of the streets and all the individual lots?
We are in the process of finalizing it, and right now it's at 103 lots for only this first phase that we're talking about to start with right now, yeah. And I have some I can show you. I just got it today.
Okay.
Is this gonna be a gated community?
Yes.
Anyone else? Thank you,
All
Jeff.
right, thank you.
Should we call for a motion?
I'm not quite sure. The motion should be that we're approving a planned unit development on the parcel, or we
It's been changed from
changes.
C3, correct, to R1? Is that right, Sonny?
Beg your pardon?
This is being changed from a C3 to R1?
No, it's being, he wants to leave it, C2 and
C2.
R3, I think.
C2 and R3, yeah. It's C2 and R3 right now.
Okay. Change it to R1.
And you want to change it to an R1? No.
No, to the planned unit development
Mhm.
that would allow us to, with the maximum density of, you know, Sonny just gave me the requirements tonight, that like 8 per unit, it really would provide for a mix. What we want to get away from is the, from a financial standpoint, building apartments and renting them, there's more money to be made, but we don't feel it's in the best interest of the city or in the long run. It's just not what I want to see, and I don't really want to be, I mean, I own some other apartments here in town, but I'm the ones on Pioneer Drive, there's in townhouses, it's only 24 units. It's not 250. And that's just a whole different animal. So if we can, really the only thing that drove this was that part of the code that said to put a single family home in R3, it had to be 13,000 square feet. And so we really just need to get it down to where that's 5,000 square feet for a detached home. And if we leave it with the R3 with the PUD category, then we'll still be able to do some townhomes. There is a demand for townhomes, like attached homes that people have, maybe with a garage in the back, even some rear entry. There's a pretty good little demand for that, but our intention was certainly we would never get to there's no way on God's earth we could ever get to 12 units per acre on anything that we're planning to do.
So basically a 50 by 100 foot lot.
Yeah.
So we're voting to approve or disapprove of approval for a planned unit development on this parcel.
That's correct.
That's just what the motion should be.
That's
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then the exact plans will be presented to the council, and
Right.
then they'll have all the responsibility for that.
All right. I make a motion that the planning commission recommend to the city council that parcel 053D079002, owned by, and the owner
It's
is
Gateway to the Mountains LLC.
Gateway to the Mountains LLC, and that it be approved to have a planned unit development on this parcel.
Okay. Need a second? Any discussion?
No, I think I pretty much understand.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Approved? Okay. Anything else? No? Is that all?
We have nothing else.
Okay. As for adjournment, need a motion? Martha? All right, meeting is now adjourned.